a friend of mine had invited me for a trip, saying that it should show me something amazing. When I accepted this invitation, I didn't anticipate that this trip would change my life. The villa was in terrible conditions. I was wondering why my acquaintance has taken me there, and I saw a miracle. The monumental stairs with the beautiful fresco. And I was astonished for there, and I was dreaming how life was there in the past centuries with gorgeous ladies and noble gentlemen and balls and concerts. But my acquaintance informed me that this villa was going to be destroyed to create apartments. And to do this, they would destroy frescoes, they would destroy walls, build up new walls. And so I realized that all this beautiful atmosphere would be lost forever in the name of speculation. I was so sorry that I decided I had to do something to prevent the villa from being destroyed. The villa, as far as we know from the documents, from the oldest documents, the villa existed in 1672, and it belonged to the family di Lupo Parra. They were one of the richest family of the region, and they got the appointment of aristocrats in the second half of 18th century, 1750 about. And so they wanted to make the house bigger and more beautiful. So they added a new part, and they make it decorated by the most famous artist of the time. We have some documents which say that in 1822 it was a terrace, and a drawing made by a French artist which depicts the castle as it is now, and it is dated 1884. So since then the villa has remained the same. She's really an amazing lady, and her story is really something which would deserve a film. This lady's name was Lauretta Cipriani. She was born in Trinidad. She was sent by the parents to Italy because they had too many children to bring up. She spent 5 years in a college for aristocratic girls in Florence, while her uncle was looking for a suitable husband. He found him in Giuseppe di Lupo Parra, the owner of this villa, who was 20 years older than Lauretta. So Lauretta came here for the first time when she was 17 to marry an older man without having seen him before, and no one had ever asked for her opinion about this marriage. She came here and she had to marry. She was a very beautiful, brilliant, intelligent, adventurous woman. She was still a girl. She was cultured and she was involved in politics. She was fond of fine arts, but the family here was very different, and they didn't do anything but embroidering, praying and gossiping. It was not the kind of life Lauretta would love. Lauretta wanted to live her life as she liked. She had many lovers. She was so admired in society. She was a perfect lady. I felt that fate had chosen me to to save the villa. I was living then in a nice house up to a hill with a beautiful landscape over Pisa and the sea, and I was very happy there. But I sold this house and I bought the villa and I came to live here to save the villa. But my family thought that I was crazy. There was no electricity here, no water, no heating. Most of the doors had been stolen, all the furnishings had been stolen. And it was really a challenge, but I like challenges, and this was an extreme challenge. We found that many rooms were didn't feature any fresco. I discovered with some tests that there was a fresco. I felt as if I was giving birth to a new baby, to a new child for me. Really, it was really something similar. And maybe it was also like this for the restoration team who were working with me. And every time they found something, they immediately called me, come, 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 I found a baby. I remember very well that they found on a ceiling a young child hugging a swan, and he told me, that the restorer told me, I have found a baby, a new baby. She was a scandalous person for her time, for many reasons. First of all, because she always fought to live as she wanted to live. That meant to have lovers. That meant to bring up her children with modern ideas. For example, it meant to be involved in politics. It was a scandal for a lady. At the time. She was fond of arts, and she didn't hesitate to criticize people why it was forbidden for ladies at her time. And she often rebelled to normal attitudes, and so she was a scandalous lady. But I must say that she was a scandalous lady for the common opinion, but not for intelligent people. All the artists and politician people deeply admired her because she was unique in her lifestyle. When her husband died, after 8 years marriage, she didn't inherit this villa because the family, the brothers-in-law and the sisters-in-law said that she was not a good person, and so they gave the heritage only to the children. And she was forced to go out of the villa, and she went to live in Pisa. The Parras had also some palaces in Pisa. And she had to change her lifestyle for a while because she was poor, she didn't have money, but all her aristocratic friends helped her much. Here lived the rest of the family, and she came back here after a long time, but she had to reorganize her life after her husband's death. In 1848, one of her children, the second male, died when fighting for the Second Independence War in the north of Italy. She suffered a lot, and she met one of her son's university mate, Giuseppe Montanelli, who had fought with him in the north of Italy, and they fell in love with each other, and they married secretly. This man was 20 years younger than Loretta. After marrying a man 20 years older, she married, to compensate, she married a man 20 years younger than her, than herself. And it was a very happy marriage. It lasted for the rest of their life, and they loved each other warmly, deeply, passionately. And this man was to become the first president of Tuscany when the great Duke of Tuscany, the King of Tuscany, was deposed, and he became the chief of the government, and he ran Italy. He became a very important politician, but all the documents and all the historians of the time said that it was not he who was the mind of the politics in Tuscany, but it was Lauretta who deeply influenced and thoroughly decided what he had to do. And he writes this many times in his documents. She was the real chief of Tuscany. I must say that the main reason for which I rent apartment is that I want to allow people who love Italian arts and who want to experience to live in a historic house to really do that. And my greatest satisfaction is when I see my guests being immediately involved in the field, in the atmosphere of the villa, and saying that they feel at home, that they will remember this house for the rest of their life, and the other great satisfaction for me is to see that villa is still crowded by people, is still living as it was in the past. The family who lived, the former owner were a big family, and I imagine villa was always sounding of voices and music. And this is my aim. Of course, I need also money to go on with restoration.